I am a love tape. I am allowing myself to be born today here at the World Trade Center to let New York know and the world know that love does exist here in New York City and here in myself. Throughout these days of coming down here to watch people speak on love, what most impressed me was how everybody denied the existence of love here in New York City. Well, I'm telling you that it does exist, and it does exist here in me. To you all who said that you need someone to love, love me, I'm lovable. And to all of you who say that you need someone to say they love you, I will. I do love you. Love needs a receptacle. receptacle. I will be your receptacle if you will be mine. It's not very hard to love. It's very easy. There's so many things in this world to love. If you really stop to think about it, it's hard not to love. Who cannot love a warm summer day, a soft woman, a good time with friends? I have so much love in my heart. I've waited 31 years to say this to the whole world. I do love you. I love you very, very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I don't know. What more can I say? I just wish, I just wish, I love you. Will anybody say that they love me? Thank you. 3 minutes is sure a long time. How many times can I say I love you in 3 minutes? I love you. 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 I love you, New York. Love me. I love you. Love is all it's cracked up to be. Look at me. I don't know. I had a period of being quiet. I don't know.
For me, love is very much involved with being a disabled woman. In this society, if you have a disability, you feel like you're not good enough as a person. You're not lovable. Nobody wants you. Nobody will ever want you. And I had to feel that, or learn to feel that I was worthwhile, and that someone would want me, or people would want me. And one of the ways I did that was to work, to do good work, to accomplish. But I also I think I had to feel that, I wanted to feel that that it was more important that I felt good about myself, and then other people would feel good about me. And part of the way I did this, or tried to do it, was to have friends, to work, to like my work, to do things just to try to be a happier person and not concentrate too much on thinking about loving somebody or having somebody love me. And I felt if I did that, and when I did that, things would happen. And that's what happened. That as I just tried to live and be happy and meet people and do the things I wanted to do, and I began to feel better about myself. And I think, and I did meet people, and I met guys that liked me. And my disability, it's still there. And even though in our society, your appearance, especially to say a woman, is so important that when these kinds of things happened to me, when I began to feel better about myself, my appearance didn't seem that important. And there seemed to be men who liked me anyway. And when that happened, and I'm now living with the man, it sort of reinforced the feeling, and I felt better about myself. It sort of builds on itself, and if it's a good cycle, it becomes a better. You feel better about yourself. People feel better about you, and you feel you are a more lovable person.
I wanted to comb my hair before I came in. Maybe I should have. See, I've been trying to decide about whether or not I'm too self-conscious about myself. I suppose I am. But you see, I love someone very much. And now that I do, I want to be perfect for him. When we go someplace, I wish I was the most beautiful person there, even though I know I'm not. But he makes me feel that way sometimes anyway. I've never met anyone like him before, and I probably never will again. I don't think anyone could ever compare to him. Anton. Anton is his name. I think it's a fantastically glorious name in itself. Maybe because it's his, but it's so fitting. Anton. I say it constantly, whether he's there or not. I don't care. I've never been so much in love before. Never. It's so consuming. I'm an artist. And I am one. That's funny to hear me say that. And I always thought that was the most important thing in my life, and yet I don't even care about it when he's around. When I think about it in the abstract sense, when I think about it overall as my life's dream, my life's work, it is the most important thing. But minute to minute, I don't even think about it. I forget it when he's there, and when he's not, I think about him. He's gone now for a while. He went away to college. So I miss him a lot. He went yesterday. I miss him so much already. I don't think about love as being anything else but him. I don't know. We're going to live together soon, probably. Forever, I hope. When you think about love, you think about marriage. I don't even think about that. I always thought I would. I always thought that would be very important to me, but it doesn't seem to be. I think the most important thing is just being with him for as long as I can, while it's still good. You know, if it should happen that I don't make him happy anymore, then I don't want to be with him for another minute. If he finds someone he loves more than me, then he better go. And not hang on, because then I don't want him anymore. But now I love him. Now.
Good. Okay.
Well, I used to think that love was monogamy. I used to think that love was waking up in the morning to a grouchy man who told me I brushed my teeth too loud, was cleaning and washing and make sure everything was in place so he wouldn't be so upset and have so much things to do when he got home. Love turned out to be a whole summer being unemployed, hanging out, not talking to any other guys, you know, and then being left all by myself, no friends, nothing to do, you know, no sex for a month and a half. Well, now let me tell you, as far as I'm concerned, love is spike heels, black nylon stockings, the seam running right up the back of my leg, hooked on to a black garter with one of those bodices with the hooks all the way in the back, stamp my legs slightly apart, sticking my tush up in the air. That's love. Love is really good. That's what love is. Love is lust. Love is falling asleep, screwing. Love is waking up and trying to remember what the last thing you did to each other was. Love is tripping out, smoking pot and drinking a bottle of wine. Love is hugging and mwah, mwah, honey, 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 give me more, honey, honey, honey. Love is coming home and meeting him at the top of the steps and undoing his pants and pulling him down and dropping to my knees. That's love. That's real love. I mean, it might not be love to you, but it's a hell of a lot better than what I used to have. You know what I mean? More serious, love is grandma dying and freaking out, being sad, but then being happy when I see her in the coffin looking 20 years younger, and knowing she's happy because she's with grandpa and she had Christmas with us and having the hearse and pulling out the flowers and taking them home. Love is going to the park and talking to her in the middle of the night, you know, and having her tell me everything's all right. Love is Mom, and how she never bothers me about nothing, and she just loves me to death. Love is Pop. The only time he's happy is when I'm happy, you know, that's all he wants from me. Love is a wink. Love is a kiss. You know. Love is a hug. Love is perfume. Wow. Love makes you feel really good. Can make you feel really bad. Turns into hate after a while. That's the pitch, you know. Love is putting somebody before yourself. Love is screwing when you don't feel like it. Love is Mom. Love is good. Love is good. I'm a perv, you know. What can you do? What can you do? You only have one life. One life. You gotta live your life. Bye. Kai, fade me out, fade me out.
El amor quizás es de todos los sentimientos, de todas las emociones, la más maravillosa que puede sentir ser humano alguno en la tierra. ¿Qué sería la vida si no estuviera llena de sentimientos de amor? Amor hacia la madre, amor hacia el ser amado, hacia un amigo, hacia los hermanos, hacia la familia. Amor a la naturaleza, a la tierra. Amor precioso. Quizás para mí, como lo veo, de todos esos amores, el más perfecto, el más maravilloso, el más completo, es el amor de madre, definitivamente. Es ese ser que está ahí día a día, no importa la distancia, pensando en uno, preocupándose por uno, que nada le falte. dando amor, dando cariño. Bello. Y el amor al ser amado, a esa mujer que le hace sonreír a uno, aún en esos días nublados. Amor, qué lindo, levantarse por la mañana con una sonrisa en la boca. Porque hay un ser maravilloso, hay un ser lindo que hace sentir a uno una serie de sensaciones maravillosas. Y por supuesto, pues, no todo en el amor es lindo. Porque quizás en el amor se dan todos los sentimientos.
When I was 5, I was in love with the little boy across the street named Alex, and I was going to marry him. But my mom told me my favorite dress wouldn't fit, and I told her she'd have to sew it, because I knew she could sew it so it would fit me then, but I could still marry him. And then I was in love with everybody. When I was 10, I could fall in love. I was in love with Mickey Crego and Lydell Shadden, and I was in love with all the little boys. And I'd go steady with the ring, and I'd get so steamy about it all, and I'd get a little feeling in my stomach, and then my blood would feel like it had fish in it, and everything would like making everything sort of fluorescent, or just cast a magical sort of dust over everything. And then I went through junior high, and love became more of it. For a while there, it was very sort of, the man I loved somebody was like equal to how much I wanted to kiss them, and how warm my face got when I was near them. And now I'm in love. I'm getting married this summer. Sometimes it seems like just a choice I've made. Like, I'm in love with this person, and there's going to be somebody to come home to every night. It's kind of convenient, and it's stable, and it's a little cushion to come home to. That the cold sweats and that all the horniness sort of fades back, except for when I'm away. And then, or when he's away for more than about a day and a half, I start wanting him to come back, and I remember that I'm really in love with him, and I feel like when I was young again, and my blood racing around and making my face hot.
I'd like to talk a little bit about love, which there is no other thing like love, whether it's love of a man or a child, but my most experience is like with love with my children, and how all the work that you do for them, how their little thank you or their little smile, just, you're not even tired anymore. And another thing of like how you could be loving them, and what if you had argument or a fight with them, you don't break up or you don't destroy any of the love that you had built up from the past. Somehow it's just all forgiven, or they're so loving and warm, especially when they're like little babies. That's, really the best, like around 15 months old, and they just put their little arms around your neck, and plus they smell so good. I love that baby powder smell and that baby oil smell on them. And they are so grateful to you because, they can't do anything, and they're dependent upon you, and they really appreciate it in their way. And it's nothing like it. It's always binding. Years go by, they're going to always be your children. There's nothing that can change that. And it's like a love that's very binding. It's just a love that's just like a part of you. Like there's the love that will always grow, and then when they grow up and they have their man, and then they have another child, it's like your granddaughter or your grandson. You get to see like a bit of immortality there. You get to see a bit of yourself coming through again, and there they are again, 15 months old again, crawling around trying to grab everything off the table. But I love that hug around the neck. That's love.
I have to preface this by saying that these statements are not universal. I can't say that this is the way love is, because I feel that this is the way it is. It's not necessarily this way for anyone else. I think that love is very close to hate. The line is very fine, and I always hate the one I love. I love myself a lot, and I think I'm really beautiful, but I also hate myself a lot. And those two feelings are what rule my life. Those are what I am obsessed with. They color everything else. I think that being in love with another person, for me, means wanting to be that person. I become consumed with love, and I want to become that other person. I want to lose myself in another person. And it gets all jumbled up, and I can't figure out who is me and who is the other person, and where I end and where the other person begins. It just becomes one. And I think it's great, and it's terrible, and it's very hard, but I wouldn't want to not have it.
It's hard for me to talk about my feelings because usually I'm so busy hiding them to my friends. I usually get into like role playing, you know, and or as like some kind of leader, or when I'm with a group of friends, I'm always like the one who decides on where we go and what we do. And so I never really I try not to get too involved in how I feel. But to me, love is like, it's very strange in what it makes us do, in that, well, I'll give you a situation. There's like, you could be in love with one person and you have so many problems with them, but you have a friend who is so kind and considerate and you can be open with, and you wonder why you don't love that person and why you're so involved with the one that you can't really communicate with. For me, for the most part, love is like these sunglasses. It's like I send love out, but I'm afraid for other people to love me. I'm afraid of getting involved with love, but once I'm in love, it's great. I'm going to tell you a secret that I never thought I'd tell anyone. I'm afraid of people. I'm afraid of getting hurt. I think that's why I'm involved in so many things. I'm so busy running away from myself and thinking about love.
They say that people can't live without love, but I've lived without it all my life. I never had it as a child or as a grown-up. And my parents always threatened to send me to the orphans' home. And when you have a threat like that hanging over your head, you can never feel loved or wanted. I was simply an object to be bossed around and yelled at. Then when I grew up, I was attracted to the type of man that was cold and indifferent to me. I recently found from reading a psychology book that women are attracted to the type of men that their mothers are. And with me, it was really true. I even accused my mother of withholding affection from us. And she said that it was because her dog died. She'd shown love and affection to her dog, and it died. So she thought that maybe if she showed us affection, we'd die too. Which I thought was a pretty stupid rationale for withholding love and affection from your children. But withhold them she did. When you have a lack of love in your childhood, no amount you ever get as an adult can ever make up for that. You just always need more. You can never get enough. And I've always been suicidal too. And I think it runs in our family because my brother already killed himself, and I blame it on his upbringing. He never felt loved either. An example of the type of men that I get involved with, well, he still owes me $300. And when he was out of work, I supported him. I paid his rent, made his car payments. paid his bar bills. And then I asked him to teach me how to drive. And he said, "You're too old to learn to drive." So I took private lessons, and I did learn to drive. And I passed my driving test with flying colors. Mainly to show him, I guess. Finally, a wonderful thing happened, though. I finally met someone who was affectionate to me. He was an actor. And I remember he came up behind me and kissed me on my neck. And that may not mean much to the average person, but it meant everything to me. I still think about it. 2 weeks after telling me that I was his girlfriend, though, he disappeared from my life, and I never saw him again. About 6 months later, though, he called me and told me that he'd gotten married. I said, "Well, if you're married, what the hell are you calling me for?" And he said they were getting a divorce. And he was... God, that went fast.
Well, I love my stuffed animals. And, well, I sort of love my friend and stuff. Maybe I could maybe love myself, or maybe I could love my life. Or I could do lots of things in my life, like play and play with friends, make new friends, and as I grow up, I do new things. And I'm very lonely from people. There's just me and my mother, you know? Well, I have sisters, and they're right now in another room with my mother, and I'm doing a love tape by myself. But I don't know what to say else. Well, I love the nature. And I really enjoy nature and love. I love the plants and trees and animals. And I love the ocean and beach. I love to find rocks. And I love to do lots of things in life. Well, it's hard to say. Sometimes you find about your sister, or you just don't like what you've done, or something like that. Well, there's something more that I forgot. I love myself, and I do, and I sometimes am very lonely, and when my sisters are gone to school, and I go to school, and then we're all at school, but me and my sister, who is 5, come home at the same time.
What is love? God is love. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him might have love. Various kinds of love. I love my mother. I love my family. Those beside my mother. I love guys. And I love friends. Very good friends. Just think how beautiful it is to have love. To love and be loved. Speaking of family love. When you have no children of your own to whom to give love to, you can dispense your love otherwise. And as I have done to my nieces and my nephews, to me they are love. And I love them dearly. To my godchild, all the love in the world he wants is for me to give to him. Now, there's other kind of love. This is a personal kind of love. It's a very personal kind of love. Man and woman. Baby, I've had it. I know it. And I enjoy it. Right now, I have a great love. Or loves, as you want to, if you want to put it that way. A beautiful love. Gorgeous love. And I think I must have love for myself because I'm looking at myself and I'm trying to look a little better on this television than I really look. Baggy eyes and this and that other. I love me too. Okay? So I have to put that in there too. Our friends, Esther, Bert, I love them. This is a special kind of love. You just can't explain love in one sentence and one being. There are various kinds of love. But a very deep friend of mine who has long since passed, Frances, I had very much love for her. Schoolmates, that was the love. That's about it, really. Love, 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 love. Give me love. There's plenty of it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Beautiful. I love this. There's another one. Hey.
Love. It's difficult to talk about love because it's something that I pretty much assumed I'm not going to have. Not really that I'm upset because I've assumed it for so long that it's part of my lifestyle. It's sort of I expect to be artistically successful, and now that I have friends, which I didn't have all my life. I mean, I was a retiring bookworm type until I got into grad school. And now that I have friends, my expectations have risen.
getting to the point where I'm thinking, well, gee, in 5 years maybe I'll, fall in love or something. Except by then I start thinking, well, by the time I come around to that, I'll have been disqualified, because I'm lost in the void of LA. Because then I have to worry about I get out of school and where do I meet people to fall in love with? Because, you're supposed to meet people in school and I didn't. And you're supposed to meet people at work and I didn't. And I seem to have been using up all my options. I mean, so it's difficult because on the one hand, so many people seem to have trouble with love that it seems that whether I get it or not, I won't really suffer that bad. On the other hand, it'd be nice to be one of the crowd, I suppose. So it's I don't know, it's difficult. I mean, I'm not really suffering, but it's I wish that it would happen, but on the other hand, I also have I also recognize that I may not have I don't know, I mean, like I have lovable qualities, but they're not, but I'm not sexy or anything. And it doesn't look like I'm going to become sexy. I thought maybe one day I would, but so it looks like I'm going to have a lot of people who love me. I'm just not.
Hello, my name is Johnny Rivera, and love means to me, I found out about love about 2 years ago when I was adopted by a very nice family. When I was about 10 years old, I had a father who didn't care about me, a mother who, she cared about me, but, she was always out in the street, So at times I spent my life by myself in the house, So, I was in gangs, I got my head fractured, cracked open, my nose. I was beat up almost every day by, rival gangs, And there was just no hope for me. I was a juvenile delinquent. I could steal anything from under anybody's nose. I was troublesome. I used to steal money from kids in school. I remember once I hit a teacher over the head with a chair because she hit me. My friend was looking up her dress and I was laughing, so she hit me, and I hit her with a chair, and I never knew what love meant until about 2 years ago when I met this family, and I was in and out of, because the court fit, they didn't think that my mother and my father could take care of me, so they took me away. My father ran, he left us, he was drunk, he left us, so I was there with my mother. I was in my house by myself, I was one of two kids. I was older than the other one. The other one died when he was 2 years old. And I was put in and out of foster homes, and I ran away from a couple. And then I went to a foster home, and these people, they came and they came and they said, well, we want to adopt you, They just came straight out, we want to adopt you. And I said, well, I want to stay here. And, it was little, they but I gave in, and, they took me out places and, things like that. So this is where I am today, and I'm doing good. And I thank everything. And I thank my foster brother, Ramon Rivera, who's out there watching. What's up, Ramon? And Hector, my cousin, and Dean, one of my friends. Thank you.
愛についてどう感じるかということですけども、親子の愛とか、異性の愛とかありますけども、具体的には、誰も愛してないのでちょっと、具体的な話はできないけども、最近日本の映画を見た時に2つとも障害者に関係するものだったので、ちょっと愛と障害者についてちょっと話したいと思います。一つは、ドキュメンタリーフィルムでリターデッドアダルトセンターについてです。その中で園長先生がある日、そのリターデッドアダルトを散歩に連れて行きます。その中に一人の若い人が、下ばっかし見てて、こう上を見てですね、こう景色なんか、あるいはうちや周りの景色見ない人がいるわけですね。園長先生は一生懸命勇気づけてですね、その周りのうちやその人やなんかを見るようにするんですけども、彼はいつも下ばっかし見てて、決して上をこう見ないわけですね。ちょっと上見てもすぐに下見てしまって、なんかとてもこう、なんか恥ずかしそうにですね、恐れてるようにですね、してるわけですね。そして僕がそれ見た時にですね、こう少し涙が出てきたんですけど、それはですね、僕が小さい頃の自分のことを思い出してですね、自分のことについて泣いてるわけですね。それは小学校の3年の頃ですね、僕はみんながクラスメートの方が怖かったので、いつも一人でそう離れててみんなを見てたわけなんですけども、っていうのは中にはいじめる子供も見たし、何か周りが人がみんな何かこう僕に対して敵意を持っているように思ったですね。ある日帰る時にですね、また早くいじめっ子からですね、早く逃げたいと思ってですね、急いで帰ろうとしたら一心室まで出て倒れたわけですね。ので僕はコルセットっていうのを顎からずっとこの下までやってましたから、丸太んぼのようにこうストーンで倒れるわけですね。そしてそうすると顔を打ってですね、鼻血をたくさん出してわけです。でひっくり返ったと亀の子のようにですね、起きられないわけですね。誰かの先生を呼んできてくれてですね、そして彼女がおぶってくれて、そして家まで連れてってくれたわけですけども、その時ですね、いつも僕をいじめてた子がですね、こう僕のランドセルをこう持ってですね、ついてきてくれたわけですね。僕はそれを見ててですね、いつもあんなにいじめる彼だけども、彼も本当は悪くないんだなと思ってですね、先生の温かい背中のですね、自分の顔をうずめながらですね、上からこう眺めててですね、彼も本当はいい人なんだなと思って、将来彼とも仲良くなるだろうなと、その時初めてですね予感したわけですね。つまりここで言いたいことはですね、愛の一つの力としてですね、そういうふうに閉ざされたなんていうんですかね、この壁をですね開いてくれる力があると思いますね。で、障害者はいつも健全者のですね愛を受けてばっかしいるかっていうと、そういうわけでもないわけですね。2本目の映画はですね、コッポラの1969年の映画だったかな。それではですね、一人の若い女の、奥さんがですね、こうヒッチハイクで一人の若者を拾うわけですけども、彼は時間が
Love. Talk about love. Love is something that I do not understand. Love is something that I guess I always thought of love as acquiring something. You meet this perfect man and you buy this perfect house and you live in this perfect world, like this perfect world. And it didn't turn out that way. I mean, I'm a woman from San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles. Born and raised here, thought I'd grow up, buy a house, get married, settle down. I grew up instead in a kind of a crazy world.
And I figured the thing that would take me out of that crazy world was love. I would find the thing that would transform me, that would lift me up, and it would be love. And I've had relationship after relationship after relationship that didn't transform me into anything but miserable. So I came to think that love was associated with pain, and I would pick people who would put me in pain, and I always thought it was their fault. I always thought it was their fault. And love to me is like this idea of God I hear about. You hear God is love. And I think if God made the good, then that God made the bad. And perhaps with love, I feel the same way. That love is good, but it also causes the bad. And I'm trying to believe what these people say about God being love, and it's mankind who creates the bad. Maybe love is the same way. That it's just there. It's just there. It just is. You just do it. And then we go in and we screw it all up. And through love, I try and find my other self. I feel like two people so often. And I want to become this one person. I thought love would find it for me. And I have attached myself to men to try and get something through osmosis. You know, I always dig up these Ivy Leaguers who went to Yale or to Stanford who have law degrees, and I'm a high school dropout. I'm an autodidactic, self-educated woman. And I guess I thought I'd get something from them. I'd get some kind of security, but I'd always push them away. I'd always push them away because I can't receive anything either. I can't receive love. I wanted them to kind of give me these things where I wouldn't be manipulating them out of it, and then I would be blameless and guiltless. And I've just ended a very unhappy love affair, and it's a very strange time, and my father is dying, and I think between the woman and the father is a relationship that can never be explained, but it does form what you think and feel and see about men for the rest of your life. And I feel as though everything was ending, my father and this other man, and I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't get what I wanted. Well, that's a weird cathartic experience.
Love is the barrier between a star-spangling relationship and the deepest, darkest hatred, and that can never produce a fragment of love. Beauty calls the blessing that betrays us, a tear half hidden in a veil of the past. Honesty is a geyser spitting out the truth. I don't know what to say. And yes, I did write that. I know it doesn't sound like it because I'm only in 5th grade, and a lot of people think that children have a carefree life. They have no worries, but that's not true. And I know my great Aunt Deli doesn't think so because she's even thinking of marketing child stress reduction tapes. And I think that's really the attitude that adults need to have about children, because they don't remember what it's like to be a child. They don't, and also I think it was a lot easier when they were children. But we have worries, we have stress, we have tension. It's not like we don't have problems. Children are adults, but smaller. And maybe they've had more experience, but that doesn't mean that we have a carefree life and there's nothing we have to worry about, because that's not true. I know. And I write a lot of poems, and I don't think they sound like regular 5th grader poems. And
there is only one you and one me, this composition. My sweet piece of earth, of milk and honey, you have worn a golden satin gown. On a trying day like this, I will have to swim across this huge river with you upon my back. There is only one you and one me. I can feel your frightened heart beating, beating. My heart is frightened too. Hold on to me tenderly, my sweet piece of earth of milk and honey. You should have braided your hair into a barn. It's a great risk we are taking. Do not become panicky or frightened. These treacherous tides and undertow will pull us under. We would be lost. Do not let go of me. The tide would separate us, and I cannot reach the other side without you. There is only one you and one me. We'll float along with the tide. Guide ourselves to the other side, my sweet piece of earth of milk and honey. I can feel your frightened heart beating, beating. My heart was frightened too. Let me remove the wet hair from your eyes, cheeks and lips, with my lips and fingertips. My sweet piece of earth of milk and honey, you can wear a golden satin gown every day, every day. There's only one you and one me. There's only one you and one me. The composition, there's only one you and one me. I've written these compositions for entertainment and the pleasures of people who have read and people who have studied and people who went to school. Are supposed to be progressive and educational to me and to the children and to the people in the colleges and the people in the offices. Mm-hmm.
This is like an irresistible time of the year to talk about love. Anyone who's been to Central Park in the last couple of weeks, it's so beautiful. Bursting with blossoms and tender green grasses and wonderful fresh smell and essence that's spring. It's a time when I think your heart bursts to share that sense of new life and the fullness of life and the blossoming of life. And when there isn't anyone there to share that with, sometimes it's welling so that you have to satisfy yourself with hugging a tree and feeling the sap flowing through its trunk. And I guess if you really are into the essence of where all love starts, it's really loving yourself. And if you can lie in the grass and feel your own life force running through you and just enjoy being alive in that, and in every encounter that you have that day, sharing the best part of yourself and letting some of that joy touch someone else who is having trouble experiencing it that day. There's so many different kinds of love, and I think that so many people are so needy and so lack that experience, which is so wonderful and so exquisite when you have it and when you can connect with another person that has the capacity to share that. I think some of us are part of an incredible Kafkaesque web because of past conditioning or deprivations in our lives, that we've cut ourselves off from being able to express it, receive it, and give it. And we all have little fantasies about how it was going to be. And if the reality doesn't meet those fantasies, we either seal ourselves off, become very angry and express it in unfortunate ways, or if we're very, very lucky and we don't have that wonderful opposite number, we can express it in a universal way.
Speaking of love, it's a very interesting question. Because love to me is like very beautiful. But then, the love I get from upstairs is so beautiful than the love I'm getting physically down here until it's hard to explain. Like I'm the type of cat that likes to be in love. But I also like to be hurt too, because I love music. And that's why I say upstairs music is like so beautiful to me, because like upstairs, I'm God's celloist, his choice celloist. And I mean, the love he gives me is different love than physical love. He gives me the kind of love that I like. He loves me for a while, and he sees I get hurt. Then when I come back, I can play better as his celloist. The love I get down here is very seldom I run into this love. I ran into it about 3 times in life. This last love is beautiful. And I hope she understands how to love me. Because the love God gives me is like the kind of love I like, the hurt love. Like carrying the cross up the mountain by myself and then nailing nails in my hands and feet and like bleeding me. Hurt love. It's beautiful. And then the rewards after that are so beautiful until like, that's love. But the average person down here, I don't think they really see love like that, because this is the kind of love that my father gives. This is the kind of love sometime he sends somebody from upstairs to give me this love when I ask him. And I think I asked him for this last love. He sent it to me, and I think she understands. So that's about it. The Duchess, what more can I say? You know? And then you people out there that are watching this thing, don't compare your love with mine, because you're not gonna go through it like I am, sacrificing to play music, because that's love too. So many loves. Like I can even ask him upstairs to send me a love down, and I can walk to the subway and he has her there. Although we don't say nothing, it's like a mental love, not a physical love. So life is love, and that's all it is. But lot of people don't feel that love like, the celloists feel. So that's all. That's about it. That's about it. That's love. If that ain't love, I don't know what love is, right? What more can I say? That's it. It should be up now.
I can feel my heart beating. I can feel it beating. Can you hear it? There it goes. Lub-dub. This is really strange listening to this romantic music and my talking like this, but I just wanted to talk about love and the way I see it. What love is, I think, is people. Not exclusively, though. I wouldn't ever want anyone to think that love is exclusively for people. Maybe it's a word for something that existed before we came along, but love is for children who've been exploited, who don't have their own rights in this world right now. Love is for the primitives who are also being exploited. Love is for everything graceful. Love is for my friend Michelle. Love is for, you go through life and things happen. You meet people, and I met my friend Michelle, and I met my friend Kirk. And three years ago, Kirk was my friend, and now Kirk isn't my friend. But I love him anyway because he's human. And even though he hurt me very badly, and I can accept it, I love him. Parents are parents. I don't think you should have to love them. I think you might want to, but I love life. I love death. I love the spirit inside me every moment, every unaccountable moment. I love the spirit inside other people. I love the spirit I feel inside other people. I love you. I love you. I heard these love tapes before, and I heard a man say, I love you, and just say, I love you, I love you. And I thought that that's probably the only way you can do it, is just to let the other person get it. Because I want to give it. I want to give it. I do want to give it. And I stick up for my rights. I want to be respected, but above all, I want to be loved. I want to be loved. I want to love you. I do love you. And I love everything that makes people love. I understand. I do. I understand. And even if I don't understand, I feel that I understand. I really feel. I really do. I'm Lois. I'm Lois. And I love you.
I've just met somebody in this town, which I'm visiting in, who really means a lot to me. I mean, I've only gone out with him a couple of times, but each time we just talk, and we really get into each other's lives, what we're going through now, what each of us are experiencing. He's older than I am, and he's going through kind of different things, but I don't know, we help each other out a lot, or we have in our conversations. I'm very hopeful because I think that maybe this is my first love, real love. I mean, between me and someone else, and having it mutual. I've been infatuated before. Everyone has, I think. But this is the first time when I felt that love coming back. And it's great, it really is. Or at least I think it's love. See, being so inexperienced in it, I really don't know. But I think it is, because it feels so good. I hope that, well, I'm going to be returning to the islands. That's the bad thing. And he's going to be staying up here in Boston, but we're going to be writing. And I have a feeling that by the time I do my thing down there, which is going to be till the end of this year, this is January 79 now, I think that by the time I finish, I'll be ready for something that I've never done before, never experienced before. I won't be the same person that I am now, then, when it comes around. And I really feel like that even if this is not love, it's just as much a learning experience and a growing experience as love. And that's what I anticipate with our writings, our letters back and forth. You know, I'm in this stage of my life now, I'm only 23, and I've got a lot more things to go through. And it's easy to talk to that camera about it, because if you're talking to someone else, they're in a different stage of their life and they can't really identify with you that much. But whatever I do, love will be there. I'll look for it. If I have nothing else in the world, I'll look for love. And if I never find it, well, I don't.
Talking about love, as in the tapes, there are many different kinds of loves. I've been confronted with so many different kinds of loves that I myself am not sure I can put my finger on the word love and define it. 1, 2, 3. If you think about the cocoon that builds itself and it comes out into a beautiful butterfly, that's the way love should be. Start from small, build itself up until it just can fly away. I just had the biggest love is mother love, just like what someone on another tape said. And the reason why the song I Will Survive is playing in the background is because I intend to be a survivor. I came into this institution not having that attitude. And I just had 2 operations and I lost my baby. And all of this was, from the beginning, I started doing it because I felt I wanted to get money to get my son out of New York and give him all the things I couldn't have. But I was too foolish to see that he needed me more there with him, whether I had money or not. And that's one of the biggest heartaches you can have. Love between a man and a woman. Us women are so fickle, especially in a place like in this institution. It all depends. I love my husband outside very much. I love him dearly. And the kind of love that we have, no one would ever be able to understand. Because we could be out on the battlefields back to back, and I know no one would get me and no one would get him. That's love. That's true love. But yet there's the love that I feel for my son. The love that I feel for the child that I lost during the operations. The love that, to be able to hold that child in my arms. Love is hearing him say, "Mommy, I miss you. I want you to come home. I need you. But I am going to survive. And I am going to get out of this just because that little boy keeps asking me to please come home." Love in this institution is never having to say there'll be a next time, because you never know. Here it's just you're locked in. There are a lot of emotions, too much stress on one person, so you look for an outlet. You try to find someone that you can speak to or relate to. But love is mother love. I just lost a child, and I still, in my mind, it hurts. But for the child that's living, my 4-year-old, I'm gonna survive. I'll always survive for him. Oh, I just put my hand in my mouth.
I'm a very modern person, so consequently, my views on love have been formed through modern society. My first experience with love was with my cousin Micheline. She and I used to play with Barbie and Ken dolls, and so I had this vision of the world as perfect in miniature, perfect. People always dressed in smart clothes and cocktail parties, and the right shades of makeup, best pumps, and Ken. I mean, you know, I thought I would grow up to be like a Ken doll, perfect, masculine, together, mature, quiet. But, well, it didn't happen. My second experience with love happened when I was, I guess, 13, and lasted until I was 18. I fell in love with a woman, consequently named Barbie, or Barbara, Hart. I was living in a small Massachusetts town, little farm town, and from junior high I was bused all the way across town from the farm that I lived on with my family, and we didn't have much money, to the new chic suburban part of town. There I met Barbara and fell instantly in love with her. I used to sit around in class, in geography class, and stare at her and write her love letters and stuff. And she would use me as her, well, her like Dear Abby, which I've turned out to be for almost all my friends since then, and consequently all my relationships have been like that also. But I know in her way she loved me, because when we got to high school and she was going out with the captain of the football team, she would take me on the dates and I would sit in the back seat, while she and Ronnie Gustafson, was the captain of the football team, would sit in the front seats at the movies and things like that. And her absolute total act and display of love was once when we were talking about her problems. We were in an apple tree in her front yard, and she came by and we were up there talking, and I said something nasty about Ronnie being some sort of a jerk, and she pushed me out of the apple tree and broke my arm. And the next day she came to my house and brought me a Joni Mitchell record. So I knew that she really did care and that she did love me. And I really wanted to do this because I wanted to thank Barbara, if she should ever be watching New York television, although she now lives in a suburb of Chicago, married to a lawyer, that she could formulate my views on love so much. So, Barbara, thanks a lot. It's been real, and you've helped to make me the modern person that I am today. Also, I'm sure my friends probably thank you a lot too, since now they can use me as Dear Abby, and consequently I can have these nice platonic relationships with men and women all the time, and when I fall in love they can just tell me their problems while they're going out with the captains of the football teams who've grown up and become bigger and better and whatever. So that's it, Babs. Thanks a lot, chum. I guess it's over. Okay?
This is fantastic. I start talking now. Love is Honey Jones in a hat. I dedicate this love tape to Esther. Esther Boney is like the universe. She's always correct, always on time, never failing, always dependable. As the sun rises in the east, sets in the west, Esther is always there to do her best for your friendship and for your belief in what you do. No matter what you do, what you want to do, or even what you can't do, Esther will help you do it. Esther keeps me together. I've gained weight. I've let a lot of good things go by, but Esther is always there. Esther meditates. Esther prays. Esther talks. Esther is a friend to everybody. And Esther is love. Esther is never failing. Relationships don't end and they don't begin. They happen and they keep going on. And in a relationship with Esther, it goes on and on and on. And it's always creative. And whenever I'm failing and it falls short, Esther picks that up and keeps it right together. Esther keeps telling me how beautiful I am, how talented I am, how creative I am, and what a child of God I am. Esther believes in me, and I believe in Esther and the kind of friendship she gives me. This hat I'm wearing is Esther's, okay? Because I've gained weight, and that really messes with my head, because I have an image of me, how I want to look, how I want to be, how I want to feel. And I sort of ate my way out of a lot of frustration. And just being here today with Esther and all of her dear, dear friends makes me know that I could do anything I want to do, because Esther is truly love. Hey, I can go on with this and play with this hat, but I still have to think of Esther gives me the belief in myself. That was bad.
I've actually chosen this bit of music because it really makes me feel love. And it's by Nick Cave and it's called Into My Arms. Anyway, at the moment I'm 30 weeks pregnant. I'm expecting my baby in 2 months. And I don't know if you can see, that's there. And the hormones that you get when you're pregnant make you feel really loving. And I actually said last time I was pregnant that I wanted to bottle it and sell it, because it's the feelings you get when you're pregnant, or the middle bit of a pregnancy, just make you feel so alive, and they make you feel like saying yes to everything, and they make you feel loving towards people and your loved ones, and obviously your baby that you're about to give birth to. I guess that's why they're there, really, so that you form some attachment. It is a really, truly amazing feeling. I mean, if I wasn't pregnant, I don't think I would have agreed to do this, to talk about love as a video diary. But yeah, love. I don't remember my mother showing me lots of affection when I was a child, and I think she probably did. Well, she had 3 of us. I don't remember that much affection, which sometimes I find hard to sort of cope with, because I think it's probably affected me a bit as an adult. But I definitely try and overcompensate by showing love to my daughter, my one that is 2.5. But also I'd like more love, really. I often feel like I would like more from my partner. And I'm not sure why I've chosen really to be with him. That's really difficult to say that. Because I obviously want to, because I'm with him and we're having children together, and I'm really I'm happy. But I need more, I think. And maybe I've chosen him because he reminds me of my mother. I feel safe because there isn't that much affection. I don't know, it's hard. But I want to give love and receive it. I think that's important. I think that's what I want.
God, love. Well, I thought I'd talk about the love for this dog that I have. His name is Otis. Now, I'm not one who has ever fallen so much in love with a dog as I have with this dog, this particular dog. I don't know how it happened. I saw him when he was a puppy, and I picked him from the litter. I mean, I sort of knew then. And brought him home. I wasn't able to keep him, though, because I was gone all the time, so he started chewing up all the furniture, and I loaned him to a friend who lived on a farm, and I thought perhaps that he would be happier there. This friend would come down to the beach periodically, which is where I live, and he would bring the dog, and I wouldn't know that he was there, and the next thing I would do, I would turn around, and here was my dog. His name is Otis, and he'd come in smiling. I mean, this dog smiles, and he's got these ears that sort of fly out, and and I fell in love with him all over again. Anyway, as it happened, he came back to me because his fellow lost his farm, so I got Otis back. I had been out of town. Otis was hit by a car. He was severely injured. It was also, when I came back, I had to go and talk with the orthopedic surgeons, veterinary orthopedic surgeons. It was on the same day that my youngest child was moving out of the house. On the day that my son was all moved out and his bedroom was empty, was also the day I brought Otis home from the hospital. So there I was, 2 nights in a row, sleeping on the floor of my son's empty bedroom with this dog. We bonded. I mean, there was a bond that went on. This dog, I forgot to tell you, is a big red Rhodesian Ridgeback. And since then, we sort of have been best friends. So he's now my $1,500 free dog, and I just love him. Never loved a dog the way I love Otis. I think about him. I think about him when I'm driving around town, and then I come home and He comes through the door with his ears back, smiling. Otis, what a dog.
Well, here I am to talk about love. I am love. I'm so full of it this evening that I really don't know what to say about love. I have around me the people that I love most in the world, excepting Mama, of course. But love is so deep. It's so beautiful. Love is life. I've always known love. Mama told me I was a love child. And it seems that everyone I meet nowadays is a lover. My lover. I just love people. I don't care who they are or where they come from, I love them. I can't think of anyone that I don't. And it's such a wonderful feeling. But the best feeling of all is to be loved. And I'm loved. I know it. I feel it. I feel it tonight with my beautiful friends. I just wish my beautiful daughter was here so that I could just tell her how I feel at this moment. As a matter of fact, I think most of us here have this feeling. After watching the tapes and listening to other people talk about their love, the love they had, the love they didn't have, we're all full of it. I think everybody's in love, even though they don't admit it or understand it. We're all lovers. But I think I'm the biggest and the best of them all. Love. It's beautiful.